Alright, time for another video. Things have not been looking very good the past few weeks, actually a couple of months. And then yesterday and today we've had another breach of support levels on most of the coins. So I'm going to start off with a bit of a macro outlook on Bitcoin. So goes all the way back to around about when they first started charting Bitcoin in 2010. And you can just kind of see, this is a monthly chart, so each candle is 1 month worth of trading there. So you can just see kind of how far it's come from there, all the way down from like, not even, what's that, 5 cents, this was at 1 cent back in September, October 2010, and then what we got up to, which was 64,000. So yeah, obviously in an uptrend, no matter how far it goes down, it still is on its way up, I guess, until it stops doing that. So what we've been assuming so far during an uptrend or a bull market is that if you buy on dips, it's still going to go up. So buying dips seems to be working. However, these dips can be pretty big. So let's start from, this is sort of the first bull market that was recorded. So what we can have a look from this is how much did it dip from the peak there. So from the peak here to the low, it took about 5 months for it to lose 93% of its value, which is a crap load. If you bought up the top and you put in $1,000, you'd have $70 left of your $1,000. Obviously, if you bought, somewhere around here, and then you rode the uptrend up, so let's say after this first big green candle, and we rode it up to about here-ish, it was 8,500% increase. Assuming you didn't catch the actual top and the actual bottom, so that's like 85 times what you put in, which is pretty crazy. But so it just keeps on doing that. So then from, let's say that was the end of that bear market that lasted 5 months, from the bottom there to, we had like a sort of like an extra spike here. So it came up a bit here, or quite a bit. So that first one was 13,000% increase. So that's 130 times whatever you put in. Then we had a bit of a correction. So that was from November 2011 to April 2013. Then we had looks like a 4-month correction here. 3-month correction, it lost 75% of its value. And then we had another leg up from the bottom of this one, took another 4 months, and it went up another 1,700% just from this small downtrend over here. So let's keep having a look. So then we had a bit of a longer bear market here. So this was from, let's say, from November 13, and the bottom was 14 months later. It lost 86% of its value and consolidated for a while sideways, and then we started to have a push up. So let's say from the bottom of that bear market there to, this was the last bull run of Bitcoin, so that was in 2017, another almost 12,000% there increase. So that's what, 120 times whatever you put in down in the bear market. And you can see down the bottom it was at $160 Bitcoin, and then went up to about 19,000. Okay, so then after that, obviously people don't really get into any of these stocks or coins and stuff until they've already run quite a bit. So once it breached its previous all-time high is when it really starts running. So over here again, it breached its previous all-time high, had a big spike up. Over here, the previous all-time high was at like $1,000 or 1,200. Once it breached it, pretty clean ride all the way up. And then again, so after the last bull market, we had that peak at around that 19,000 mark, and the bottom of it was right here. So that lasted 12 months, and it lost 84% of its value. From there, we had another little gain over here. So from the bottom of that to this gain here in mid 2019, modest 300% increase, which is still triple whatever you put in there. And that's kind of looking like what happened over here. So we had the bear market end, good uptrend, little bit of a decent pullback for a few months, and then it finished off with a nice uptrend again. So it's kind of looking like this 2013 bull run here, if it continues on. So then now we've got the last bull market end, spike, came down again. So again, we got up to, what was that, 13,000, and then this red candle here in March 20. That's when COVID-19 kind of hit, tanked the stock market. I think Bitcoin lost like 50% of its value in one day. So yeah, from that point it lost 71%. And then from there, with this most recent bull market, it got to a peak, took about a year and a month, and then went up 1,500% there. So about 15 times whatever you put in. So from here, what do we think is going to happen next? Well, that was a decent bull market. Also, people didn't really get into Bitcoin. It was never really on the news and stuff until it started really breaching the 20,000 mark, the previous all-time high, and that was in December of last year. And that's when it was pretty much gaining, I know, like from mid-December, pretty much around Christmas, it was gaining like $1,000 per day. And it was shooting up, and it didn't seem like it was ever going to stop. So now we've reached the peak for now at about 65,000 USD, and in the next 3 months we've come down about 50%. So yeah, it's about half of its value now. Where would we be looking for it to end up before we start to go up again? Well, on this 2013 bull run, kind of came down to around about the previous high, consolidated around there for a bit, and then took off again. For after the 2017 bull run, kind of a random spot. If I was playing the market at the time, I would have been looking to pick it up around here. That's the place that makes sense, the last resistance turn support. However, we didn't really get there. So I'm sure if we go into the weekly, there might be some resistance or support levels here that caused a reason for it to spike from here, but that was the end there. So using that, my first place I'd be looking for is this previous all-time high at the 19,000. That's where I'd be looking for a really strong support and to pick up other coins and Bitcoin once it starts to get around this level. Having said that, it may pick up before then. So we have to have a look on the daily, I reckon, to have a better look into that. But right now, I don't really see any reason for it to just randomly go up from here. It does do that, definitely, but yeah, I'm going to have a bit more confirmation. So let's look into some coins now, and I'll come back to this model later when we're preparing for the next bear market, where we can look to accumulate some Bitcoin and other things. So I'll start off with XLM. We'll just go down to the daily now. Yeah, not looking good. Alrighty, so XLM. Okay. So we're at a support level now at the 21-cent mark. Previous highs turned support. Been confirmed to support a few times. The only problem with all the coins right now, and Bitcoin included with it, is we have a death cross, which is where the 200 moving average, which is this purple, has crossed, and this 50 moving average, which is other purple, has crossed below it. And that's usually a pretty bearish sign, like that things are going to go down quite a bit. Having said that, it's already gone down quite a bit. Pretty much since that point, it's already gone down 35%. Not sure how much more we can go down from there. The next supports, I would say, are around the 16-cent mark, and then another decent one at around the 11-cent mark. So I'd be pretty wary at the moment. Not entirely sure what's going to happen. Let's go back to Bitcoin on a daily chart and see if there's any more info here. Okay, so we just spiked off this blue line here which had been support a few other times. So, look, it could just be a little trap. It's broken through the previous low over here, and we could see another run up again. Not really sure. Apart from that, I'd be looking down here. This is the next big support for Bitcoin, around this 20,019, around here, which is where we consolidated last time, and it's the previous all-time high from the last bull run. Other places where it might move up from, maybe around here, the 23 mark. That's pretty much it. That's the only other place, but this is where the bulk of the orders would be going in. And a lot of, from what I've seen, they don't think the bull run's over. They do think it's going to keep going up. So this could just be a consolidation phase, and then we just keep moving up like that. Okay, so we looked at XLM, looked at the prices there. XRP getting absolutely destroyed. So where are we at now? Let's just bring this across. Okay, so we're kind of at this support at the 70 mark. This is in AUD. Corresponds with some consolidation over here. Yeah, I guess all these places, the best place for what I saw before was around here to buy. With a 200 SMA linking up with a good support level, which was resistance twice before, which got smashed through, and then also acted as again support over here. So I probably would have had orders here, but I haven't been accumulating anything at the moment because I'm still a bit shaky about the market. So this is not a bad spot. I think we might, if any of these do rally up from these supports, I think we might go back up to these levels and then possibly get rejected again and go further down, possibly. So if we do see a rally and you're holding some stuff, this wouldn't be the worst place to look at selling it if it's looking a bit weak once we get to these marks. Yeah, I'd be holding off. I'd definitely be holding off for now, but just looking at nice places to buy, like this sort of level. This is a big, strong support level. So here's not too bad as well, around the 50 cent, and this is a 30 cent mark too. So if you want to stagger your orders, just like slowly come in. Let's say you're going to put $1,000 into, you want to put $1,000 to Ripple at some point, XRP. I'd be putting in, maybe this is probably the last line down here, so I'd be putting in maybe 50% of the orders over here, and then you can stagger in like 20% here, 20% there, if you like to, and then kind of see how things go. What else we got? Litecoin. If I can get my support levels, sweet. Haven't quite reached that support yet. Wouldn't be touching that until we get to around the $100 mark in USD. I'll just go to Ripple on the USD just in case people are trading that. But it's pretty much the same thing. Just waiting for a nice support. So yeah, there's 41 cent on the USD. Would be a bit better, and then the next one at the 33 cent mark again. Ethereum back at sort of February prices, so actually not that long ago. The only issue here is we've just sort of broken that 200 SMA. We'll see how the daily candle closes. If it's still red, then I would say we're most likely coming down to around here at least, and possibly even down to $1,000. But yeah, you got the 1,300, 1,400 mark here, which would be a decent time to buy if we assume that the uptrend is going to continue after this, which it may not. It may just keep going down to the previous all-time high before that. So if this closes green, however, then this would be a nice time to buy $2,000, and you know the projections for Ethereum are around the 10K mark, but you could probably take some profit around 8K. What else we got here? Reef, not been doing too well at all. Can I get some? Thank you. Okay. Yeah, not really any. There's a bit of support here. This is probably the 13. Oh, what's that? It's a 1 cent, 1.3 cents is where you could pick up. I can't see. Anyway, yeah, this looks like a good level. I mean, if it comes much further down than that, then you're pretty much screwed anyway. I did buy it in this support zone here, which ended up failing completely. So yeah, I think the best thing to do is try to map out good places to support levels to buy and accumulate for the future. This is more for long-term holding. You can try and trade a little bit here, but there's no good spots on Reef. Let's have a look at Dent. Yeah, good support over here. It was resistance before. I would assume it would be support now. Just broken through that one. So our next one is down here at the 0.001 mark. Not a bad place to put some orders actually, if we assume that Dent's going to go back up again. If you can grab a nice order around here, you can make some really good money getting back to the previous all-time highs. It's about 16 times whatever you put in. Cardano, this is a good one. This is a big market cap coin, and we're at a very nice level actually. We just dipped. So this is what I wanted on XRP. We have the 200 SMA over here, lining up with a really nice support, which has been tested multiple times. And it pretty much, as you can see, just touched that 200 SMA exactly on the daily. So that dollar mark, that was a perfect time to buy Cardano. Let's see what happens with this candle. But yeah, anywhere around closer to this level is a really nice time to buy it. And you could double, hopefully in the short run, whatever you put into that. Anyway, it's a pretty stable coin, pretty big market cap one, so it's got a lot of future ahead of it. Nice time to buy over there. What else have we got? Decentraland has gotten quite beat down over the past few months. Last bit of support here at 30 cents or 35 cents. Looking like a nice time to buy. Again, we did break under the 200 SMA, so that's a pretty bad sign, but we're getting to better prices now. 35 cents, it was up around the $1.60 mark. So there's a lot of gains to be made there if it continues the uptrend. What else have we got here? That's pretty much it. All these other ones are really small coins. I wouldn't be looking too much into them just at the moment. I'd be waiting for a bit more strength in the market, or to have a really solid plan for like investing for more longer term. Having said that, we got VeChain over here, which is a slightly larger cap coin. Again, we smashed through the 200 SMA, but we are at a nice support level down here. So if it was going to bounce, I would expect it to do it from this level, and there should be some gains to be made from here. Yeah, almost 400% there to get back to the previous all-time high. BNB actually is a really good price right now. Do I have any? Yes, there we go. So we touch this big level. Again, breaking below the 200 SMA is not a great sign. So we'd have to see how this candle closes. If it closes red, I would assume we become more into this level, and we could probably pick it up for around 150 bucks. And then from there, BNB is a pretty big coin, so we've got quite a lot of room to get back up to this the previous all-time highs around 600s. But just keep watching out for a few things. These other big ones like Uniswap and things like that have come down to decent levels now. I wouldn't say they're dirt cheap, but it's at the price it kind of was in Feb, before the alt season kind of really took off. It doesn't look like much now. It does kind of just look like a consolidation. Hopefully we don't come all the way back down here. But yeah, can't really say too much. Technically, all these are at good, like cheap prices. However, it's only a cheap price if it goes up from here. If it keeps going down, then it's a fucking expensive price. So I can't give any further information as to where it's going to go from here, especially this one. The next support level would only be down here at like $8. So pretty risky to get anything at the moment. Again, if you want to take trades and you want to do your risk to reward on these, so let's go this long position over here. If you were to take something like, about $15 here on Uniswap, and then we wanted to get up to the previous all-time highs, or even let's just say double our money. So go for 100%, and that coincides nicely with this resistance level. Then where are you going to put your stop loss? We're already in at the bottom of the support level. The next support level is all the way down here, which is like another 40%. I'm not going to put a 40% stop. I'd like to do about a 10% stop if I can. However, with the volatility of the market at the moment, it's highly likely that you just buy it and you get stopped out straight away. And so then you've just lost 10% for no reason. But not mine, it's closing right now. Anyway. So that's why it's a bit risky to be grabbing anything at the moment. Just because where are you going to put your stop loss? We've got so many stop hunts down here that come and buy up your stop losses and then spike the price back up again. I don't know if this is going to happen again here. Hopefully it does. But could definitely continue back lower. So if you're going to trade, have a plan, have a set stop loss, because let's say it was coming down over here, you had some orders in, which I've had in other stocks, and you're like, yeah, no worries, I'll grab it at a nice cheap price. What's this? $30, it was up around 40. So we're assuming it's just one of these things where it comes down, touches, and keeps going up. So we were looking for, you know, a nice 45%, 50% increase from there, probably even further. But instead, it came down 50%, lost half its value from that point. So if you bought it there and didn't have a plan and just held it, now you're down half your money. Now, for it to get back up to even what you bought it at, it has to go up, not 50%, 90%. So now, just to get back up to your break even, it's already gained 90% of its value. Now, any profit after that, it's going to have to go up, 100%, 200% for you to get any sort of profit. Instead, if you sold it, and then, say if you had a stop loss in the 10%, copped a 10% loss on it, sold it around here, and then, okay, next support level, let's buy back in again. Already had the orders in there, no worries. At let's say $15 at the bottom of the support level. Now, for you to get back up to where you bought it at before, it's still 90%. However, that's all 90% profit. Okay, minus the 10% loss you took before on the stop loss. So it's still 80% profit to get back up to where you were before. So that's the difference between just holding it randomly and just hoping for the best, and actually having a trading plan and sticking to it. And if one support level fails, okay, that's fine. We can just go down to the next one. So sell that, get rid of it, because there's so much more loss we have over here to be had. As you can see here, it wasn't just a small dip below. It went down the full 50%, actually even lower. So even if you set your, triggered your order to buy over here and went a bit lower, okay, that's fine. It's still within the range. And it's definitely not a 50% loss from there. So you would have already recouped, you could have taken out 80% profit when it spiked up again, and then decided what to do again. We saw some weakness over there. Okay, let's stay out of this for now and buy back in again. Now, if it goes down lower, okay, you can take a 10% loss again, or have it in again for 100% gain if it does get back up to this point once more. But at least you have the options to do that, because you've already made some profit in the game. So you've got a little bit more to work with. And now, okay, I took an 80% profit there. Now maybe I can set my stop loss a little bit lower, give myself a bit more breathing room. I'm still up 80%, so I can take a 20%, still be up, 60%, even if this trade fails. And but if it wins, then I'm going to be up another 100% on that. And so that's how you can kind of play these little trading ranges. But once you get down to the daily chart, that's probably the best time to see where things are moving, where the good supports are, where the big resistances are, and kind of go from there. So yeah, if you were going to trade this is how I would do it. Buying in here, looking to sell around here, or at this 200 mark. That's another strong resistance that's going to come up as well. So if the trend does reverse and Bitcoin starts to go back up again, there's a long way to go. It's going to get rejected at the 200 SMA, it's going to get rejected at the 50 SMA, and all of these other supports from before that have turned resistance again. So it's going to be a rocky road back up. It's not just going to be straight. So yeah, have a look into it. Definitely be careful with everything. Things aren't looking the best. I don't know if it's going to be a full downtrend, but just looking at where the prices are now, where the supports are, the SMAs, it's looking more negative rather than positive. We are at a nice support though. I think once we break this and we get down to around here, then I would say more than likely we're going to come all the way down here. But it is reversing a little bit as we're speaking, so this was definitely a nice support, which has been tested multiple times. This is Bitcoin, by the way, now. So let's see how it goes up here. If we get a solid rally back up, see that's a 50% increase from down here. If you were holding like a, whatever from up here, you bought it as support, then yeah, you're down like 40% there. To get back up to your break even from this 45% decrease is, Bitcoin already has to go up 100% again just to get up to your break even. Then now you want to get some profit, it's already up 100%. You've already missed out on so many gains. So let's look at what we're doing there. Just going back to what we said at the start with how over the months, or over the years, sort of every time Bitcoin had a correction, it came down, like first one was 90%, then 80%. At one point it came down 75% before it took off again. And then that's sort of the maximum it's gone down. So now from the high, we've gone down, there we go, to this low over here, 55%. So it's not really in the range that it was before. You could say that the drops have been getting smaller and smaller each time, so 90, 80, 70%. So maybe this is the 55% mark, and then it takes off from here. Not really sure. Again, we can't really use the past indicators 100%. It's just trying to use that to help us with what we think might happen in the future, and still use support levels to guide where we actually buy. Now let me have a look. If we were to get down to the 20,000 mark, the big purple support down here, that would be 70%. So that would kind of make sense with what has happened previous bull runs where we've had these sharp drops. And yeah, that makes sense as a price that it may come down to. Just going to have a look at this little retracement over here and how much did we come down. And that was about 30%. Okay, no worries. So yeah, possible bouncing point here at 28. Next strong support at 2019, and that's where we can sort of make your next move. You'll see the other alts kind of be at their next support level when Bitcoin gets there as well. We might see some sideways consolidation for a bit, and then possibly take off again. So, but we're sort of waiting for that. We might be in a range over here between these two levels, but we have been in a range from kind of around here up until this 40,000 level, and just been up and down the whole time. So definitely no trade. We can't see any support here. We can't see any resistance except for here. So there's no trade in between here. It's only at the actual levels is where you're going to be trading at. You're going to be selling up here, buying over here. So yeah, I'll make another update in a few days, see what happens with these candles. But yeah, it's not all super bad. Like we have kind of bounced from here, so hopefully we can stick this one. But let you guys know later.